And so a very good afternoon and a warm welcome. This is the US-based Focus on Liberia online television network. And of course, we are live and direct from Ashmore Street in Monrovia. We are precisely at the Snapper Hill Social Intellectual Organization. Well, it's a forum organized by the guys here where they will converge on a daily basis to crisscross on issues of paramount concern about Liberia and other parts of the world. And so it's a pleasure being here at the moment to interact with all of the comrades that are currently posted, folks. As we know, quite recently, the Liberian National Police arrested a huge amount of arms and ammunitions quite recently at the Freeport of Monrovia. And currently, as I speak to you, there are claims and counterclaims. And of course, the police have said that they will continue their investigation and continue to update the public on who are those behind the huge arms and ammunitions that were brought in the country. How did it get here? We want to know. These are questions we'll be asking the guys who are here. Never mind for the little noise in the background. Another argument was just on before I arrived here, and so gradually the comrades will cease the noise as we proceed. And so the very first man who is rough and ready to lend his thought on our subject, on our discussion today, is this gentleman. Good afternoon, how are you? Thanks for joining us. My name is Theo Williams. What is yours?
Oh, good afternoon, my name is Rufus Chie.
Chie, let me first of all say Happy New Year to you. How are you today?
Fine, wish you the same.
All right, I'm sure you followed the recent news about the seizure of arms and ammunition in our country by the Liberian National Police. Let's know from you first of all, Chie. What is your thought? What do you think?
Really, when the information broke out from the Freeport of Monrovia about the huge consignment of arms that entered the country, it was really, really surprising to us, because after the year to see a huge amount of guns that are coming into the country, it was scary, very scary. In this type of town where we are driving to election, very scary.
Do you think it is the intention of those who allegedly imported the guns to the country?
Intention, when you talk about intention,
I'm asking, what do you think? Do you think it was done through some motive?
Oh, well, I can't say so, but I would say it was done because people are saying that people bring guns to make their own business and to protect themselves, but in this type of town, to bring that type of huge consignment of guns, it carries a different signal in the country.
So let me ask you again, let me rephrase the question. I'm asking you, what do you think is the intention of those who brought the arms in the country, those arms and ammunition in the country?
The intention is to do different things. To that type of huge consignment, it carries different sound. So the intention is in a different way.
So before I let you go, let me know from you, Chie, what should law enforcement do about those arrested allegedly in connection with the guns?
My own advice to the national security is just to increase more manpower.
All right.
To beef up their game and be on top of the game, to see a huge consignment of arms coming like this into the country. This type of time, it sends a different signal in the country. So I'm asking the national government to really beef up the security setting in the various entrance point into the country. Because today is a Freeport, tomorrow we hear say it's Bullwater South, or we hear it's at the border in Africa and Lofa. So we are saying that the government should give up the security system to see our best to put a halt to the transfer of guns into the country.
Thank you. Your name again?
Again, I'm Rufus Tiche.
Thank you, Chi. It was a pleasure. Let's move on to the next gentleman here. If you just join us, folks, you are watching the Independent Focus on Liberia online television network, and we are live and direct from Ashmore Street, specifically around the Dusty Road, the Ashmore Street Dusty Road, and we're here at the Ashmore Street Social and Intellectual Organization. This is a center where all of the young people converge on a daily basis to talk about issues paramount to this country. And so this brother is just right before our camera. Good afternoon, Happy New Year, good to have you on. Thanks for joining us. What is your name, sir?
My name is Steven Zebron.
You want to please project your voice a little bit?
My name is Steven Zebron.
All right, Steve, how are you today?
I'm fine.
I'm sure you followed the news. What do you make of the huge army nations that were arrested by the Liberia National Police in our country quite recently?
Thank you very much. I just want to say thanks to the government for arresting those arms. But it's scary to us because we that to our daily hustle to see the kind of arm and ammunition be collected by our government, by the police. So we're scared, but we think the government need to do more. But we are going towards the election. A lot of business people will be coming around, a lot of politicians will be coming around for the see the kind of arm and ammunition we put in our country. Even the things that make me scared, the kind of arm, not pistol, and not single barrel, but assassination arm.
Okay.
So the kind of arm that.
But do you think somebody who wants to cause harm in its country will import all of the huge arms and ammunition we saw through the port of Monrovia? You think somebody want to go that route?
Yeah, some people can still do it because that war for the water, before we have a one warring fashion. Today was out here more than 4 to 5 warring fashion. What I call in UN, ECOMOC, all meal today to the state. Thing is not still normal in Liberia. And they are not thinking and Liberia will be peaceful.
And so what should law enforcement officers do to those who were allegedly arrested? Those who were arrested in connection allegedly with the guns that were brought in country.
They gotta say in Liberia that anything that happened in Liberia, after 3 days, they will not hear anything anymore. But if the government is so strong, they have the power to investigate all people, people will know. The citizens will be aware, so will not be in panic, will not be afraid.
Your name again?
Steven Zebron.
All right, Steve, it's a pleasure. It was a pleasure having you on this network. Thank you very kindly. We're still here at the Ashmore Street Social and Intellectual Organization, where you have Liberians coming together on a daily basis to talk about issues that are paramount to the growth and development of this country. And so, like we've done with other intellectual centers and other places, we are here today in Central Monrovia, Ashmore Street, mainly at this center to talk to the comrades who are here about the recent seizure of arms and ammunition by the Liberia National Police. So let's talk to this big brother right here. How are you? Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. What is your name, sir?
Thank you very much. I'm J. Gao Freeman. Jixing Gao Freeman.
All right, Mr. Freeman, how are you today?
Fine.
I'm sure you followed the news quite recently. What is the take about the seizure or arrest made by the Liberia National Police regarding the huge quantity of arms and ammunition in our country?
Well, first I will commend the government for the bold step they took. And the last time I ever heard about arms and ammunition arriving in the country was 2003. According to the news that when President Taylor was still in power, a huge consignment of arms landed at our international airport and was, they arrested it, and that was the end. And since then, in 2003, just last Thursday, it was a breaking news to me when I heard that the government of Liberia just arrested a huge consignment of arms and ammunition here in Liberia. That is scary.
But do you think people planted the arms and ammunition with interior motives?
I can't say whether they planted the arm or not, or they have any internal motive. But what I do say, what I have to say is that it's dangerous for the state.
All right.
It's very, very dangerous for the state. We have the gun havens. I mean, we have seized the gun long ago, but our peace is still fragile. And if guns that they are in the country is very dangerous to this country. What makes it dangerous is that investors will be investors that want to come to the country to invest. If they get the kind of information, they say no, but the country is not yet safe. And I always tell people this thing that this is the philosophy I believe in, is that money loves good life. You can never have your money and put it into a tear pocket. When your pocket is taken, put it there. You always put the money into the area that is well secure. This is why people keep safe in the house and put their money there. People take money to the bank and put their money there. So nobody will come into the country to invest when they hear every kind of news that ammunition, that's kind of huge, because more than 400 pieces of ammunition is dangerous for the state. I don't know the motive.
Some Liberians have said the police investigation was somehow political. Do you agree with that?
Depending who's speaking, but for me, I won't say it's political, because it is the duty of the police to carry an investigation. These guys are the law enforcers, so it is their duty. And when they carry on a job, let us leave it with them. It's not political. For me, it's not political. The police are doing the job. This is why the government is paying the police not to mind their business and do what they're supposed to do. So the first time I will commend the police for the job well done thus far.
But do you think somebody who wants to cause chaos in this country will import arms and ammunition to the port of Monrovia? Do you think so?
Importation has no boundary.
All right.
That is the gateway to the country.
Okay.
Yeah. If you can come through the border, you can come through the sea or whatsoever. The fact is that if the guys deem it necessary that it can enter the soil through this area, you can bring it there. That for me, I don't think that whether it's necessary or not, depending on the leakages at that time.
Okay. Your name again?
I'm Jason Gar Freeman.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. It was good having you on this network. Well, folks, you're still watching the US-based Focus on Liberia online television network. We're still here on Ashmore Street in conversation with the comrades here at the Ashmore Street Social and Intellectual Organization. Let's talk to our big brother here. Good afternoon. Good to have you on this network.
Yeah, good afternoon, brother. Thank God to see you and thank God for the day. First of all, my name is Washington B. Monjolo. I'm a taxi driver.
All right, man. How's the traffic today?
Well, thank God for the traffic. Sometimes the traffic good and sometimes it's bad because of the condition that are in the town.
Okay. And so you're currently on a break?
Yeah, sometimes there's no good traffic, so I come and rest myself after later on by around 5 to 6, then I pick up.
That's great. Nice idea. But what do you make of the recent arrest of arms and ammunition in our country?
Well, first of all, we can congratulate the government and the police.
All right.
They are done well. If not so, everybody will come and scatter all around me like 1990. They are done well. Tell God thank you for them. But to my own opinion, that's the thing that going on here, that the particular arm is not one man. The government mentioned think that only that man that in America. My heart is not pleased on the opposition then that the government is in power. The government will not play a game, bring arm and say that XYZ. Because our year 1990 and the war came here. And things like this were going on. And at the end, people were saying that lie. And the lie came to truth. And everybody was running all around. So the government must take their own time and go into the matter and know who are in the problem. It's not one man show.
Okay. The police have conducted several investigations, and most of the investigations did not produce the needed account. Let me know from you, what do you think this one will end?
Well, the police have to go back again. The police have to go back and take their own time. The police have to take their own time and then do the proper investigation.
Do you trust the police? You think they will do a thorough investigation?
I trust the government, I trust the police, and first of all, people use or remind in this country say that we have they don't trust the government, and then also there's no security. That is statement they always using in the country that there's no security.
Do you agree with that?
But if there is no security, then how can the government arrest that arm? They have a security. But saying they have that dirty deed in their mind, therefore they always use the word that there is no security. And thank God that since there is no security and the government prove it to them that there is security on ground. So any dirty deed they plan, the government will knock them down by the grace of God.
Finally, before I let go of you, let me ask you this final question. Do you think somebody who wants to cause chaos in a country will use the Freeport to input arms?
My brother, people can use anywhere. Bringing arms, they may pretend that they're bringing goods. And they only need the cartoon. There's arm may be only in the cartoon, and they put few goods over the cartoon. And they say that, oh, the business are bringing. And even to the airport. They use airport, they use seacoast, they use even polo land. So there's no boundary. Anywhere they see leakage, there where they pass. First of all, they use a remark, say that there's no security. Majority of the opposition then use the remark there is no security. I will always use the word opposition.
Why are you so keen on the opposition?
Because the opposition always using a word that there is no security. There is no security.
So you think they have a part to play in the recent arrest?
To my opinion, they have a part to play. Because they always using a threatening remark against the state and against the government.
Who specifically from the opposition angle?
Where the government have to go and do their own investigation. They will know who bring the arm and those who are connected with the arm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your name again?
My name is Washington B. Manjulu. I'm a taxi driver.
Thank you, Mr. Manjulu. It was a pleasure having you on.
Thank you.
This network where we're still here interacting with Liberians at the Ashman Street Social and Intellectual Organization, where the guys will come on a daily basis to talk about all of the issues in the country. And let me talk to another gentleman who is just right before our camera. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon.
Happy New Year.
Same to you.
What do you make of the recent arrest made by the Liberian National Police regarding the huge quantity of arms and ammunition that were brought in the country?
So the first thing, it is a shocking news. It was a shocking news to us.
All right.
Since I was born, I think this is the first time I heard that the arm were arrested to the port. Since I was born, it was the first time I heard that. But then what really claimed my attention to this is Imaya Johnson of the CDC youth.
Yeah.
He just made a statement. He just made a statement that they will accept nothing but one round victory.
What does that indicate?
10 goal to scoring arm. Man, you now, and you just ask one question. Say, can I think, or can anyone think that somebody who really want to do bad pass through the Freeport with arm? Or maybe somebody in authority or authority knowing about it? That can be another question, but it really frightening. It is heartbreaking for us to hear this, and I think we are afraid.
Let me ask you, what should law enforcement officers do to those who were arrested in connection, allegedly, with the arms and ammunition that were brought in the country?
So what they need to do is to dig deeper, because not just common individual, common Liberian men will just take arm to pass it through the port. So what they need to do, they need to do more digging. They do more digging. And why they are told you, people are making statements. People are making statements that they will not accept anything but one round. Then we discovering arm at the port. So we need to dig deeper for us to know who is behind the army.
Do you trust the police?
Sometimes.
I'm asking you because the police have had or carry out several investigations, and most of the outcomes were not fruitful, if I will call it that way. Where do you think this one will land finally?
I think where we are going, I think we end like the previous investigations, because police will continue investigating. Something will happen fresh. They will tell you they are investigating, but then they will not bring any other outcome. So I think it will yield the same food. Yeah.
Some Liberians have said in some quarters that the police investigation seems political. Do you share the view?
Yes, I share that view. That as time, the police investigation can be political.
Your name again?
My name is Life T. Weza.
Thank you. It was a pleasure having you on this network. Thank you very kindly.
Thank you very much.
Well, we stay at this forum interacting with Liberians who are here on a daily basis to talk about issues confronting this country. All of you who are coming on, it is my pleasure to say good evening from Monrovia, because it's already 2 minutes past 5. Good evening from Monrovia and welcome to the independent focus on Liberia online television network. We are here at the Ashmore Street Social and Intellectual Organization. Before me is this gentleman. Welcome, Dad. How are you? Good to have you on. Thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon. My name is Ebenezer S. Blati.
Your name is what?
Ebenezer S. Blati.
Mr. Blati, how are you today?
Fine, sir.
Happy New Year, first of all.
Yeah, wish you may happy return, sir.
What do you make of the recent arrest by the Liberia National Police? Huge quantity of guns, as well as ammunitions. What's your take about that?
For me, when I heard the news, I was kind of afraid, because in the past, government at times discover arms. When those arms were discovered, people say it was forced. During the time of Samuel Doe, there was armed insurrection in the country at that time. And then when Jerry Goyen got the news, Jerry Goyen brought the news to the public, and then posted that it was a lie. And even during the time of President Taylor, when President Taylor said that there was an armed insurrection at how do you call the place there? Belfasta. I think Belfasta. How do you call it?
You mean Belfasta, man?
Yeah, Belfasta, man. So if people went against it, say it was a lie. The President Taylor said, okay, say if people say I'm lying, you're getting a helicopter. Let's go to where the arm is. They refused. But just I think about a few months after, we saw what happened with the bloodshed in Monrovia at that time. So for me, when I got the news, I mean, I did not take it light, you know. I was kind of afraid. And even up to now, I'm afraid, because when people are bringing army in the country, not only bringing for the government, it is for everybody.
What do you think would be the intention of those who brought the arms and ammunition in the country?
I think that their intention is sinister. They have a true motive, of which I don't know, but I think that is because no one want to bring in arms. It's not that arm. It was not for bird. It was not for hunting. It was not for hunting purpose. It was something that meant to destroy life and property.
Do you think somebody who wants to cause havoc in the country will input arms to the port?
Oh, yeah, you can use any means. You can use. In fact, people will think that we can use. People will think that it is impossible to pass arms to the port because of the security that there. But people who are crafted, people who have the skill. You know, they were skillfully use the port, because they feel that they will not be looking at them at the port. So the port of entry, any port of entry for that matter, whether the seaport, the airport, the land port, or whatsoever, people can use it for arms or to come to the country.
Some Liberians are saying the recent police press conference was somehow political. Do you share that view?
No, I don't think it is political. The police, they are doing their job, they are doing their work. That's what they were paid for. They're doing their work. So no, these things are not political. People only try to politicize this thing because they feel that we are into political or pure, but it's not political. Because anything that happens now, the very people that are seeing it, they'll be the one who will be affected. So they shouldn't say that it is political. It is something that was done with an intent. It was well orchestrated by some people. were well orchestrated, and the police they are doing their own investigation. They have intel on that. So it's not political.
Before I take leave of you, finally, what could be a recommendation to the joint security of our country as we head towards the election in October this year?
I think the joint security they should pivot their operation. They should apply maximum security operation in all parts of Liberia, in all border areas. They should make sure that the security is put into place.
Thank you, your name again?
Ebenezer Eslati.
Thank you, Mr. Wulati. It was a pleasure, having you on this network. Folks, we are still here. We'll be wrapping up in a few minutes. But let's talk to at least 2 more persons. Then we will call it a day. We have to make way for another program coming up very shortly with Anson CA. And so let me just talk to this fella very briefly. Good evening. What is your name? Thanks for joining us. How are you today?
I'm okay. I'm Liberians. I'm with the cyclists.
All right, you're a cyclist. How was the traffic today?
I have a God grace to give God the glory.
All right, so you on a break?
Yes.
Great. What do you make of the recent arrest of arms and ammunitions by the Liberia National Police? What do you think?
Okay, in the first place, I would really appreciate the government for their effort applying. Because we the youth, when we hear these things, it brings sorrow to us. Even though some of us was not born during the war, but those that experienced war, they know what they went through. And we are in the city which is Monrovia. If only such a need as this here, those that are interior, they feel bad. Those are parents call because we hear and they are interior. So when they hear needed, they worry, always worry. And it's very much bad to hear such a news like this.
Do you think the police will do a thorough investigation regarding this case?
I have the trust and hope that they will do that.
You trust the police?
Yes.
What do you think were the intentions of those who brought the arms into the country? What do you think their intentions were?
The intention you have, it is very much bad. In the sense that some of us, we was not open, I was not open to gun business. And the substance our brothers and sisters are taking for now, if only they hear some of this news, it'd be bad for us. Because just imagine someone taking something like they step their brain and they don't want to see nothing going on better, they don't want to see no development, they don't want to see nothing good at all. So whenever we hear the news, we feel bad.
Okay, your name again?
I'm Liberians.
Thank you. It was a pleasure having you on. Let me talk to this brother who has been patiently waiting. Let me squeeze you in. Good evening. How are you? Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, how are you, brother?
What is the name, sir?
My name is William T. Barney.
What do you make of the recent seizure of arms and ammunition by the Liberia National Police?
First of all, I would like to congratulate the Liberia government for their hard work carried on. I would like to congratulate them for their hard work.
You want to do what?
I would like to congratulate the National Police for their hard work.
Why are you congratulating them?
Because exposing those wicked people.
Do you trust the police investigation regarding this case?
I trust the police million and trillion times. That the Liberia police, they are working in the interest of the state. If not so, you're going to discover that arm that was brought into this country. So I have interest in them and I trust them.
What do you think this case will make? Do you think this case will make any difference? As per other cases, we've witnessed the police have investigated several cases. Do you think this will make any difference?
I believe so. I believe that the case will be different. The case will not be soon under the carpet. The police will vote for those people that brought this arm into this country. I believe that it will not be swept under carpet.
Okay. Thank you. What we will have to leave at this point is when a wonderful time here interacting with the comrades here at the Ashmont Street Social and Intellectual Organization. Well, we've been talking about the recent seizure of arms and ammunition by the Liberia National Police quite recently. And so I will have to end this interview now to make way for the next program that is coming on very shortly. And so thanks to all of you for being with us. Thanks to our head of operations, Anthony C. Thanks to our indefatigable CEO, Mr. Dennis Jar, who is in Atlanta, Georgia, the U.S. Thanks to all members of the Focus on Liberia crew. For and on behalf of the crew, my name is Tio Williams, bidding you farewell from the Ashmore Street Intellectual and Social Organization.